Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be talking about VCT Pacific Stage 1 Week 2 results. And I'm still very disappointed in Bleed, but T1 at least have improved. But before we get into week 2 results, let's first talk about next week's scheduled matches. So first off with Genji versus DRX to start off a banging week. That is going to be a great match to watch. Followed up by Bleed versus DFM, who are really the worst team in Pacific. Then Global Esports versus RIQ, then Team Secret versus Paper Rex. T1 will then go up against Talon Esports, followed by Genji versus Zeta. Then after that will be Team Secret versus DFM and Global Esports versus Paper Rex. So let's now have a look now at the week 2 matches, and first start off with Paper Rex versus Genji Esports. Basically the rematch of the grand final in kickoff. It was a 2-1 victory for Paper Rex against Genji, 13-11 on Lotus for Genji, then 13-11 on Icebox, and 13-6 on Vine for Paper Rex. I mean, now with Jing back in the lineup, they just look so much better. So much better. I'm sorry to Mun Yet. Obviously, he's still a phenomenal player, but just with Jing back in the lineup, they just feel like home. They just feel like 2023, 2022 Paper Rex now. So it's great to see that version of Paper Rex is back. At the same time, I do feel bad for Genji, considering they beat this team last time in kickoff, but now it's a very different team now with Jing in the lineup. So I think Texture also had a great member on Lotus, I believe. But it was just a really good game, I'll be honest, from Genji. For Paper Rex. Shout out to I'm pretty sure Texture played Omen on Icebox. So shout out to to him playing Omen on Icebox. But other than that, I don't think there was any really unusual like comps. I'll be honest. It's kind of just the same from what all these teams have been running. So either way, good job from Paper X, and I think Genji will definitely bounce back from it, I'm pretty sure, and they actually did as well from this week. DRX, they beat out T1, who continued to struggle. A 2-1 victory for DRX. 13 on Breeze, though, went to T1, which is a good improvement. Then 13-5 on Split and 13-6 on Buy for DRX. I'm not surprised about this whatsoever. DRX, they are better than T1. T1 are the worst Korean team if we talk about like Korean organizations. So I'm just not surprised about this whatsoever. I mean, both teams using Euro on Breeze, which is kind of normal now. I think Split was also a mirror comp. Bind, they did have a Gecko. I'm pretty sure Carpe did use the Gecko. So, and also Harbor Viper comp as well for T1. Basically double initiator, double controller. DRX, they use kind of more of a standard bind comp with Raze, Brimstone, Cypher, Viper, and KO. So that's pretty standard, just T1, so very T1-like, I'll say. So I'm not surprised about this result whatsoever, so let's just move on. Team Secret being our Zeta division, a 2-1 victory, for Team Secret against Zeta, 13-8 on Icebox for Team Secret, and 36 on Lotus for Zeta, and 37 on Sunset for Team Secret. Once again, I mean, actually, these two teams have this sort of rivalry, I think, because they are so similar, as in like rosters, as in play style. They're just so similar. They're like exactly the same. They're like brothers from another mother, basically. So this game was always going to be a banger. It was always going to be close, and it was pretty close. I mean, Laz was on Chamber, which was cool to see. Zeta still using that bloody Phoenix comp, which somehow worked against Global, but hasn't really worked since. Team Secret, a very normal composition, I'll be honest, from all of those, from basically from every single map, actually. So it's just a very normal composition there. Shout out as well to Jesse Vash, getting a big old donut on Lotus. And that will not be the last time where we're going to be talking about donuts here, I'll be honest, this day even. As right after that, it was RIQ versus Bleed Esports, and RIQ absolutely dismantled Bleed Esports. 13-2 on Lotus, 13-5 on Icebox. Now, I think it was Lotus, again, or Icebox. It was where Flipshizer this time actually got donut, so history was made, I guess. Not only over in Americas with Aspas getting 47 kills, but having 2 donuts in 2 consecutive games. That is amazing. But either way, RQ, they were phenomenal. absolutely like amazing. Bleed, they still don't look like Bleed Esports. They don't look like the team that won in Ascension. And I'm getting very worried about this team. Is it Yay? Is it, I don't know, bloody Darion? Is it scary? I don't know what the problem is over in Bleed, but it's just not working. So I can tell that Yay is really questioning of why the hell he left North America to go to Pacific. I don't know either. So I just can't wrap my head around Bleed, I'll be honest. I just can't. This team just frustrates me as a whole. Whatever. I'm just going to move on to the next one because I'm just going to go on another mega rant like I did with T1 last week. DFM. They lose to Gen G, which I'm not surprised about. 2-0 victory for Gen G. 13-8 on Split, 13-7 on Lotus. Lotus was just a May show. I mean, he had no help on Lotus, and he just popped off on Lotus. So shout out to May. But I mean, it was just a very standard Gen G comp basically. And game as well, I should say, as well for Gen G. So a very standard Gen G moment, you know what I mean, being out of DFM, which have improved, like I keep saying. So obviously it was going to be closer than what it was going to be like last year in 2023. This time now in 2024, now it's closer. They actually have some great players, some great pieces. So I would rather, I'm glad that DFM have improved, but I'm just not surprised that Gen G won. That's all. I'm just not surprised whatsoever. Moving on. Was this maybe the toilet bowl of the entirety of VCT? I don't really know. It was a 2-1 victory for Talon against Global Esports, 13-4 on Icebox went to Global, and then 14-12 on Bruce, 13-6 on Lotus went to Talon. Now, I think they did use Surf, I'm pretty sure. I think Lenny was subbed out for this game, but I just wanted to say I apologize to Lightning Fast, because he was really, really good in this game. Maybe the star player, I'll be honest, so Global. Polvi, he didn't really show up, I'll be honest. Ross had some moments. Benkai had some good moments. I think Blaze King was also pretty good there as well, but I think it was mainly Lightning Fast. So I was like, oh, okay, that's very impressive. Talon are just a very inconsistent team. I think Frost mentioned it as well on a tweet that Talon are just so inconsistent and they need to fix on it and stuff. Which, seriously, they actually do need to fix on a lot of stuff. But this is a good showing for Talon. I just don't know how that's going to work against the other teams. Like RIQ, for example. Zeta, Team Secret, T1. Like those, or with DFM maybe. Those teams that are kind of mid-pack, we'll say. Talon, they're a bit below that. I'm interested to see how they go now with some decent teams now. I mean, they lost against Gen G pretty badly. They won against Bleeding in the first week, so we'll see how they go against ROQ or DFM or even DRX, for example. But Global, I'm a bit worried for them. Still, like I keep mentioning, there are better Indian players like Deathmaker, like Health, for example, that they could definitely put in. Lightning Fast is still pretty good in my opinion, but you know, I mean, this seems it's not clicking well. It's not going well, I'll be honest, for Global. And now to round off the final day, a very interesting 2-0 victory for T1 against Rex Wickham Keon. A 13-6 on Ascent, 13-8 on Lotus. Wow, that's actually really something pretty good from T1. Now, apparently it was actually confirmed right before the game that Carpe, IGL, say bye-bye to that. X-Curate, he's now the IGL, which has worked out immensely for them. Having X-Grid in the IG, I mean, he has learned so fast. To be fair, Valorant and CS are both kind of similar, other than the abilities and stuff. But other than that, it's actually if we talk about the bare bones skeleton of both games, they're basically the same. They're very, very similar. So I'm not really surprised X-Grid was just like that, instantly really, really good on the IGL role for T1. To be fair, he was the IGL, I'm pretty sure, for Tyloo, I believe, in CS, so he has had IGL experience before, and with him now in the IGL role, and this has worked out, but this is only one sample space. This is just one match sample space. I need to see more of T1, and then I'll be a bit confident. RRQ, they struggled against this. Do we call it new T1? I'm not really too sure, but they struggled here. But I like what I'm seeing now from T1. They're changing stuff. Because I wasn't a fan of Carpe on IGL. I'll be honest, I wasn't a fan of it. When it was announced, I was like, oh god, this is not gonna go well. I mean, they were good in kickoff, but this is not gonna go well, and luckily they did make a change, so really happy about that. So yeah, it's good to have like an actual IGL who has IGL before, have executed now in the IGL role. That's a great sign there for T1 and for the future to come. And finally, to end off this week, it was Zeta version versus Bleed, and it was a 2-1 victory for Zeta against Bleed. 39 on Sunset for Zeta, 39 on Ascent for Bleed, and 13-8 on Lotus for Zeta. Notice how the two maps of Zeta won, Lazarus on Chamber. Coincidence? I think not. But seriously, this Bleed team, like, what more do I really have to say other than I just sound like a bloody like broken record? It's scaring me, and this is no pun whatsoever. It kind of scares me that this is what Bleed Esports is now. They haven't won a single match. They have been competitive in some matches, but they haven't gone across over the line. I mean, the talent one, I expected more from them. I didn't really expect much of them, to be honest, from Zeta, so they kind of impressed me there. I think Ye also getting 2 aces was a great sign, so there's like a bit of hope that Ye is back from his to his like 2022 prime days, but like either they're not utilizing Ye well, or Ye is kind of falling off a bit. I don't really know. All I know is that crazy guy is jumping up for joy that he's not on the squad anymore, and he's so happy. So, I mean, Scary is all the IGL, like I mentioned before. I just don't know about that. Like, I was a bit skeptical when they announced that Scary was going to be IGL and Crazy Guy was off. I just wasn't too sure. I mean, having Zest is good. I mean, he's been really consistent, but like, I'm a bit scared for this team, for Bleed as a whole. And then, considering that they're going to be versing against DFM, which is going to be the main challenge. If they lose to DFM, Bleed are officially the worst team in VCT partnership as a whole. They're worse than the Chinese teams. They're worse than the EMEA teams, America's teams. Bleed will be the worst team in VCT Pacific, and they are going to be like the DFM as they were last year. But let's now have a look at the standings. So, Gen G now have a 2-1 record to lead Group Alpha. Then Team Secret with a 1-2 record. T1 with a 1-3 record, while Global and Bleed both of them are 0-3. Then Group Omega, DRX have currently are 3-0. PaperX are 2-0. Zeta Division and RQ and Talon, all of them are 2-1. While Death Nature Focus Me are 1-1. What does that look like now for the championship standings? Well, Gen G is still in the lead, only lead though by 2 points over DRX. Then PaperX, ROQ, Talent, and Zeta, all of them with 2 points, while Death Nature Focus Me, T1, and Team Secret, all of them have 1 point. Then Bleed and Global down in last place, only with a donut of 0 points. So now, like, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me, especially on this channel. Really, I'm a bit skeptical for Bleed, so we'll see how they go against DFM. I might maybe do a WOD review depending on the time and stuff. So that's really bad for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys the next time in the next one. Goodbye.